everybody. My name is Sharon Quinn. I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Today, my guest is my very good friend and celebrity designer, Franklin Rowe. Class is in session, y'all. Welcome, Franklin Rowe, to Model Behavior.
Thank you for having me.
So we were talking before,
Yes,
we started,
were.
and I want you to keep that flow going.
Definitely.
So the first thing I'm going to ask you is how you got your start as a designer.
Oh my goodness. I was in school actually, and I brought everybody over to my house, and I said, look, I want to start a line of clothes. And I found out where to get labels made, and that's when Rowe Originals Limited was started, and that was way back when. And
how old were you? You know what I say?
No, I was in my early 20s. I just knew I wanted to be a designer. My whole thing was, I'm going to be a designer because that's what God wants me to do. And what I didn't know, my friends knew, and they could execute for me. My assistant for 25 years, Cynthia Washington, put me in my very first fashion show. We did an all-day show at the Lord India restaurant in Broadway, and for the Lincoln Republican Club.
Okay.
And it was a spectacular show. And I sold clothes, and I got more shows after that, and it was just an exciting experience. And then I started traveling. I left New York for a while. I went to and lived in New Mexico. And
really?
I lived in New Mexico for 3 years and became a big celebrity there because they had nothing or no one like me there.
Now, did when did you start sewing? Who taught you? Were you self-taught? Did you go to school?
I'm self-taught, but I went to the High School of Music and Art and learned fine arts and fashion.
They taught sewing at MNN?
No, they just taught fashion.
Okay.
They taught fashion and theory, and that's it. And then I won an international scholarship to Traphagen School of Fashion.
Now, I saw, what is the Traphagen School?
Traphagen School.
And where is that?
It was at 257 Park Avenue South, and they list me as one of their prestigious alumni, and I'm honored by that, along with Mary McFadden and James Galanos, Jeffrey Bean, John Kloss, and John Anthony, and me. And I'm like, me, but it's an honor because I'm one of the few that mentioned the school, but it was intensive training and history of fashion and how to construct a garment and how to manipulate the fibers in fabric and how to make a beautiful piece of work. And that's what they focused on.
Now, the stuff you just talked about, manipulating fabrics and all, do they teach that now at the FITs and
They teach
Parsons?
you how to be a celebrity. I think, no, really. Today is a whole new ball game. And I think not everyone, but a lot of the younger generation are getting into fashion as a way to celebrity. I never wanted to be a celebrity. I'm a celebrity by fault, but it's like I'm a behind the scenes guy. I work very hard. I enjoy seeing textures come together and something come out of those textures that normally you wouldn't put together, but they're beautiful. And I don't adhere to this anorexic, I want to say a word, this thing with girls that are sticks.
So you like bodies?
I like meat. I like a woman that is a woman. And you can discern that she's a woman because she has breasts and a butt. And then when they started with the double zero, I never heard of double zero coming up. I never heard of zero coming up. It was size 10. That was small to me. My mother was a size 20 and she was gorgeous. So therefore, that to me was my standard of beauty. And then now, double zero, zero, and I'm like, eat. There's enough fabric to go around, So now, as I've learned how to construct double zeros, and then these little girls that have, I always tell them, let me just feed you. let me just feed you. But I really enjoy women. Yeah, of course, I love you. I mean, I always tell you, I've been.
I know you're trying to get me to walk again, Franklin.
Your day ain't over, honey. But the bottom line is, you are the epitome. Number one, you have the best legs. You have no cellulite.
Well, you ain't seen them in
No,
a while.
no. You were walking down 125th Street one day with some hot pants on, some denim hot pants and some mules. And I was like, you go, girl. All 6 foot of you, and you were turning heads all the way down, and you're not thin. And these girls try to do it today, and there's bagginess in Daisy Dukes. It's not supposed to be bagginess in Daisy Dukes. Your thighs are supposed to fill out these doggone shorts. But that's what the market now is rebelling against it, because the girls are not eating and they're unhealthy, and it's messing with their health. And so now I think it's size 2 to size 4 now. And then size...
You mean on the runways?
On the runway of 7th Avenue, and internationally, now it's size 2, because it's gotten to a point where size 0 is just not happening anymore.
Well, they're talking about putting regulations.
Amen.
They're talking about doing that now because of all of the constraints that the straight size models have. They have to be a certain size. No matter what size you are, they're always asking you to be thinner, which is, that's ridiculous to me. I don't think that's any man's ideal woman.
No.
But I wanted to ask you, you made me think of something. When you were studying at Traphagen, I know back then there was no plus size modeling, and if there was, it was on the underground level.
What was it called? It was full figure. It was full figure, and there was Lane Bryant, and there was Forgotten Woman, and there was Ashanti Bazaar, and there was...
And all those places are closed
and
now,
they're
with
gone.
the exception of Lane Bryant.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, the other store, Ashley Stewart came in to play.
But did they allow you to design for
Yes,
plus size, or,
yes,
did your focus have to be straight size?
Nope, they allowed me to design plus size. They gave me freedom to design for women. And that's what I liked about that school, is the fact that what my reality was my reality. I love dramatic clothing. I still love dramatic clothing, but dramatic clothing that you can actually wear, not dramatic clothing just for stage. But the bottom line is, I've always admired women that are because the reality is, I think the standard size in the United States is size 14.
Absolutely.
And when you go to Paris, those poor girls, they don't eat. They're skinny. They're walking around in 6-inch heels all day, and they're skinny. And they have a thing against plus size. I don't understand it. Life is too short not to enjoy food, as long as you're healthy.
But there is, there are changes coming even to Paris, because when I did the last season of Monique's Fat Chance, and we shot in Paris, we had to use actual plus size models, and they do have them. They have the same kind of constraints on them that they have here, whereas you can be like a 14 or a 16, you probably shouldn't be too much bigger than that, or you probably won't work over there. But they do have them, so that's that's a sign that the change is on the horizon.
Yeah.
But tell me about. We talked, and I'm almost afraid to go into this topic, but I liked what you said.
Okay.
How has fashion changed, in your opinion, from what it was back then, the glory days when I was doing it, to what it's become right now?
To me, it's become celebrity driven, and if you are a singer, you can become a designer. If you do a sex tape, you can become a designer. And if your parents have a hefty name, you can become a designer. You don't need any talent. And with that said, it's hurting the kids that have busted their behind to become a real designer, that did the work, that paid the dues, that know how to thread a needle, that know how to sew a button on, that know how to take a piece of muslin and pull a thread and let you know which is the width which is the width grain and which is the length
Okay,
grain.
I don't even know what muslin is.
Yeah, you know, it's what we drape with to make a pattern. So these kids they have a feeling, they saw so-and-so with it, and so, you know, everybody's going to have a line. Every celebrity's going to have a line. And because of the fact that they are celebrities, they get backing because they're brands.
And that's
already.
the hardest thing for a designer
And that's
to
the
get
hardest
is
thing
backing,
for a
right?
true designer
Yeah.
to get backing. And if it weren't for my hard head and my sheer willpower and God's love, I would have been out of this business years ago because it is not easy.
Yeah.
It is not easy. But the thing about it, I see a light at the end of the tunnel now. And it's a great feeling because I stuck in it. It was for me to do. And the thing about it, I'm not a one-trick pony. Mm-hmm. And I love not being a one-trick pony. Like, I can dress you, and I could dress someone anorexic. Oh, excuse me. So I can dress someone size 0. And you both will look equally as beautiful. And that's what fashion's about. Mm-hmm. It's about making a woman or a man look their best. And clothing is like a coat of armor. When you step out in the morning, you want to look good because it makes you feel good. If you're having a crappy day, you put on a scarf or a great blazer or a great blouse that makes you happy, and it changes your mood. It'll bring positive energy to you because you're emanating that from just a piece of clothing. And that's what I like about fashion. I like people to be happy and comfortable in my clothes. And then we had a discussion today, me and Cynthia had a discussion about a vest I had did when I was in college. Mm-hmm. And it's relevant now. And it's relevant because I don't believe in, I look at Vogue now and then. Mm-hmm. I look at Vanity Fair, Marie Claire, Elle, now and then. And I look at the shows online of my favorite designers, who are, Caroline Herrera's a designer, Chado Ralph Rucci, Donna Karen has a great team, but she has a good brand. Who else is, Giorgio Armani. I love
Armani's
He's
clothing.
still a designer,
Yeah.
and Valentino, even though he sold his company, Valentino's still designing. Valentino he's never going to stop because it's part of him. He loves women. And when you love women and you love what you do, you never stop.
Well, dare I say, if you love women, mm-hmm. then you should be able to design for all women, no matter the size. You should be able to make them look beautiful. Now, I haven't watched it in a while, but I used to watch Project Runway a lot. And anytime they put the plus size challenge out there, mm-hmm. it's a lot of drama. Mm-hmm. People lost their minds. They just couldn't design for this body. Well, in my opinion, if you can't design for a body that doesn't look like this pen, mm-hmm. you're not really a designer.
You're not. I'm sorry, you're not. I feel the same exact way. Because if women have curves.
Curves, exactly.
Men are square, women have curves. And if you can't design for curves, and then you're putting women's wear on men's bodies then.
Oh, and there's a lot of that going on the DL.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of, it's this fashion flexible thing going on now.
Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, it's fashion flexible. So therefore, you have, in Atlanta, I think it started in Atlanta where men are walking around in 6-inch women's heels and they're wearing makeup, but they're not transsexual. They're gay. And they're fashion flexible. Whatever floats your boat. The bottom line is just look good in your clothes. Look neat in your clothes. If you're going to wear Gucci, women's Gucci, wear it your size. And if you're going to wear I know them feet are hurting because you got squazzed them pumping some Christian Louboutin, size 14 women's, and I know your feet are hurting. But if that's what makes you happy, go for it. My thing is, there's no room for judgment in fashion. Fashion is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Say that.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and with myself and seeing the struggles that my comrades and myself have to go through just to get a little of that pie. And we have more talent in our pinkies than these celebrities who are actors, singers, sex tape makers, and housewives on reality shows.
Don't you do it.
And talk show hosts that have no style. I'm not going to mention anyone. The only line that I really liked was Queen Latifah's. And then her brand went, because she was not, her stuff was beautiful. And I worked for Latifah. Beautiful sister, she's built like you, 6 foot tall, juicy, fabulous clothing, great talk show. She wasn't ratchet. She'd uplift you, they threw her off the air.
You think that's...
Mm-hmm. You have to be ratchet and fight and pull. To me, this day, but you have to look glamorous doing it, though.
Because I thought that whoever was dressing her, and yeah. I think I know.
I know Tim. I know Tim Snell for years.
She looked great. I watched that show every morning before I left for work.
It made me happy.
Yeah.
And now it's some hot court or something on hot seat. And I'm like, where's Lyot? I've looked every channel for Lyot. They just snatched her off. I'm saying my girl's gone, but I know she'll be okay. I know her and Shaquille.
She got a lot of things going on.
They bought a studio in Florida, and she's going to do the same thing Tyler Perry did. And she's got her own. She's a brilliant businesswoman. Brilliant.
But you threw out a term earlier when you talked about the celebrities who have lines and all
and
that.
Ghosting.
Ghosting.
Ghosting. What they'll do is they'll pay somebody a fee to design a line that feels like their style. They have nothing to do with it, but they'll come, they'll look at it, they'll check, they'll show them the fabric, and they'll check, that looks like me, that looks like me. It could be absolute garbage. But since they don't know anything about fashion or trends or forecasting, they'll check, go to HSN, QVC, sell out, make tons of money because they're a housewife on a show. And I don't think that's fair to us as real designers. What I would like to see is those people come to us, ask us.
HSNs and QVCs?
And then, I've gone, and I'm not, what was it? It was not something, it was too, I don't know what, it was too expensive or whatever. I'll go back to them again.
Because I was going to ask you that. Why don't more local designers use that as a way to up their...
Because you have to come in at such a ridiculously inexpensive bottom line, and your stuff is produced in China. And they buy, it's like 500 dozen from you as a test order. And if it sells out, which most likely it will, but there's the guy, Bradley Bayou, who does Oprah stuff, and
Anthony Mark Hankins did. Hankins did really, he's a superstar.
And I know his twin sister, who's an attorney, who helped him. And I look at him, and I'm saying he's a superstar that got tired of the fact that he just got to the point where I want to make a lot of money and I don't care.
So he was where you all are at
and
now,
then
he just made that decision.
He was at Sears. He was designing for Sears, I believe. Sears or JCPenney's. And then he got on HSN. He found some fabric, got it produced in China, and people love his personality. He's a great salesman. And I'm proud of him because he's making tons and tons of money. And then he can live his dream and do couture.
And do what he wants to do.
Exactly.
Right. So that would seem to me like an easy way to get what it is you want.
Exactly.
And then once you get that capital that you need, then you can go and make that dream collection.
Do your dreams, baby.
So why aren't more designers doing that, you think? Does it cost you a lot of money to do stuff like that?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. You just make a line, a capsule, a 12-piece line of things that, and they want you to go, like Bradley would only go to size 22. And you have to go from 0 to 30. And it's kind of hard to design size 30.
Why?
Because it loses translation in a certain shapes with myself. So I would do the Bradley Bayou route and just go to 22, 24 and do, his stuff wasn't inexpensive. And since you're doing value pay, and you could break it up into 6 payments, hey, they were spending $900 on jackets for him. And I liked his thing. And Bradley Bayou's, Bob Mackey's selling on HSN.
Is he?
Bob
I did not
Mackey,
know that.
yeah, Bob Mackey, Isaac Mizrahi. Everybody, I mean, everybody's hungry. If you don't have a fragrance, if you don't have the backing, I respect Isaac because Isaac had one of the most spectacular lines out there. He went bankrupt. And he clawed his way back to the top by doing anything he had to do.
You talking about when he was doing Target, he went bankrupt? Or before that?
Before he did Target, he went bankrupt with his signature line, with the colored furs and the leathers and just the happy clothes that he liked to do. That was very high end. His investors pulled out. And so therefore he went bankrupt, and then he had to start from scratch again. But he did, and he did it wisely. And I'm proud of him because he never stopped. And he's a wealth of knowledge, and he's never lost his love of fashion.
And is that key to having a long-lasting career?
Yes.
Through the ups and, more importantly, through the downs
Through the
of
downs,
this business?
definitely,
You have to
definitely. You
have
have
a
to,
love for what you do.
You definitely have to have a love and be able to recreate yourself. And my thing is, if I didn't know how, well, God, I'm inspired by so many things. So therefore, it's so easy for me to create. I wanted a menswear line so bad, and it was in my head. I wanted a fabric that didn't exist, but I found it. I wanted leather with it. I wanted to mix leather and fabric that had the feel, the weight of denim, but was soft. And I found it, and just mix it up and make it masculine and sexy. I want men to look sexy in their clothes and masculine. And I did it, and I'm excited about it.
What are you calling that line?
It's Rowe Men Limited 2.0.
Oh.
It's 2.0. It's turned up. I love it. I can't wait to wear it, you know. And it's exciting for me to be able to be excited about it, because it's something that I know is going to do good for us, because it makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense.
And you know, and you said that I would wear this menswear. I would like it myself.
You would like it because it's comfortable.
And you know, that's
and it's
my
in
middle
jerseys.
name right
I
there.
mean, you know, the pants. I mean, they fit, but they're not skin tight. And then the asymmetry on the leather and jerseys, and the pockets, hidden pockets, and
You love you some leather, Franklin.
oh, I love leather. I love leather. I could live in leather. But the different, the Watteau necks for men in leather, and then pockets slit inside, and leather sleeves, and just fun, exciting clothing for men.
And when is this line going to launch?
It's launching. It'll be launching Saturday in Washington, D.C. with my good friend Harvey Starr Washington.
Okay.
We're doing Night of Stars.
1,000 stars, I think.
1,000 stars.
And by the time this show airs, it will have passed.
It will have passed.
How can we find out about that? You have a website or an email address? Or?
Gosh. Harvey Starr Washington.
Okay, I could put that up.
Yeah, Harvey Starr Washington, and just go and you'll see it. It's just a big, huge, wonderful promotion, and it's going to be one of the best shows in the United States.
Okay, well, I'm excited for the menswear, but you know what? I want to know about Fifi 2015.
Fifi
you already told me about that. Is that going to be showing too?
Yes, yes. And it's beautiful. It's soft. It's Fifi 2015.
And Fifi is Franklin's plus size line that I used to be the face of back when I was doing my thing. So I'm really excited. I saw some of the things that you sent me, some of the pictures.
Oh, and
it's really, really beautiful.
Thank you. And it's what women want to wear. And a thin woman would look at it and say, I want to wear that too. And that's what I like about my plus size. When a thin woman looks at my plus size and say they want it, that means I'm doing my job.
Okay, Franklin. Now, before I go, we only got a few more minutes, but there's a question on here that Sabrina, my assistant, wrote, and I want to ask you. How do you feel about how far plus size fashion for women has gotten? Do you feel that it's where it should be? Could
No.
it be bigger?
It could be more luxurious. I cannot stand the fabrics I see for plus size women because it's just an insult. I wouldn't put that. The fabrics do things to your skin.
Yeah, they're supposed to. It's supposed to feel good.
They're supposed to feel good because it's natural. And if it's got glass in it or unnatural fibers, it's not going to feel good. And it's going to damage your skin. And it's like they don't care. It's the fact that they're going to turn it out in another country and sell it to women and do big ad campaigns on say a floor-length wrap dress or a long dress.
So you're saying that the plus size women's fashion is really disposable now?
It's disposable. It has not. It's getting better. It's a lot better than it was, but it's still got a way to go. Because my plus size girls, they know they're my leather, they're my silk, and they love me because they know they're getting fashion.
All right, Franklin. I so enjoyed talking to you.
I love you, darling.
We're almost out of time. I want to thank you, Franklin, for sharing your
You're
interesting
welcome.
knowledge with us today. We're really excited about FIFI 2015 and your men's collection. So you guys check the website, and I'll have it up when I get this information from Franklin. Before I go, I want to leave you with a few thoughts, though. I want you to remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. And always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. And lastly, do what you love and love what you do. Thanks for watching Model Behavior, and I'll see you guys next week. Class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all.